As we move into the weekend, anticipate a shift in the energies. The moon will journey through Taurus and Gemini, and there's this captivating blend of intuition and intellect, making it an ideal time for study, for research. And on Sunday, we may be prompted to lead with a practical wisdom and a patience. So sit back, relax. Let's explore the cosmic energies. Together, we'll gain an understanding of how to embrace this energy, utilize this energy, and move forward today and every day. Hi, I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. Thanks for being here. Thank you for all of the positive, loving support you send me each and every day. And welcome to your weekend focus for December the 23rd and the 24th, 2023. So let's start with the numerology. Saturday, we have a 23 energy happening. The 23 energy is about having a faith, a belief that there is a higher power guiding over your path, protecting you, sending you love, sending you wisdom, sending you knowledge in order for you to go forward in your path. 2 plus 3 is a 5. That's creating the harmony, the laughter, the giggles, the smiles. Being in the moment, being creative, inviting in romance and a lighter energy. Now, if we look at the daily numerology for Saturday, it'd be a 3 plus 5 plus a 7. That's a 15 energy. The 15 energy is about allowing the things that hold you back, the things that, it could be habits, it could be behaviors, but it could be people, it could be environments. And to allow that to fall away. Maybe it's that cloak, that wall that you keep hidden behind, but it doesn't allow you to move forward in some way. And the 15 energy comes in to say, allow it to fall into the fires, allow it to burn away, allow it to turn into ash, allow yourself to be reborn as the phoenix rising out of the ashes. Okay, and we are in a time of rebirth. We've just celebrated the solstice, right? So it is a time to realize that it is a good and beautiful time to rebirth yourself, reinvent yourself. Give your path forward a kickstart. 1 plus 5 is the 6 energy. That is our habits, that is our behaviors. And looking at what serves us and what does not serve us, what has value, what does not have value. On Sunday, we'll have the 24 energy. That's a beautiful love energy. That's about growing our relationships deeper and stronger. Stepping into new relationships, creating the beauty and the harmony in our lives. 2 plus 4 is a 6 energy. Once again, we're back to our habits, our abilities, our behaviors, I should say, not abilities. Well, maybe we're looking at our abilities and maybe where we've hidden our abilities. We don't let ourselves shine in the way we need to in order to be successful in our path forward. So, yeah, it could very well be about your abilities. So I don't think that any word is missaid here when I'm doing these readings. So we have to pay attention to it. Now, if we look at the daily numerology for Sunday, it would be a 3 plus a 6 plus a 7. That gives us that 16 energy. That brings in awakenings, aha moments, epiphanies. This is where we understand how to break through that glass ceiling. Maybe we've put that glass ceiling in place. Maybe we've allowed others to put things there and formed our glass ceiling. But this is the time when we break through that glass ceiling, when we understand how we can go forward, when we understand what kind of lie or untruth we have been living our life by that has been directing us away from our path instead of towards the very path we've wanted to walk towards. 1 plus 6 is a 7, and that is all about bringing in the harmony, the beauty into our relationships, into our environments. It's about standing in our truth. It's about believing in ourselves and taking a step in the right direction because we believe in ourselves, because we're willing to take a risk on us. Now, the sun is in Capricorn, the moon is in Taurus on Saturday, and then, while most of us are asleep, it'll creep into Gemini, so when we wake up, Sunday will be a full Gemini day for us. On Saturday, we'll awake to find that Mercury has actually snuck back into Sagittarius, and later that day, we'll have a conversation with Pluto. So now that Mercury is back into Sagittarius, we're more expressive again. We're more, you know, being able to use our voice in social settings, to be able to tell our stories. We may expand on our stories a little bit too much. Be careful about those white lies we put into our stories in order to make them sound better. Okay, we want to kind of steer clear of that, especially while Mercury is in retrograde, because we'll probably end up with egg on our face if we do elaborate to the extent where the white lies start to form. We'll be talking about travel. We'll be traveling in our mind and our thoughts. We will, and it's retrograde. So we've already been through this part. So something could come up from our recent past that we thought that we had settled on, that we'd put to bed, that we have moved it into the past and we can go forward. And there it is again saying, no, we still need to pay attention to this. And we will experience this one more time, right? In January. So get excited about that. Get excited about that. Absolutely. But later in the day, Mercury will also talk with Pluto, right? So our conversations and our thoughts could be quite intense. And yet, we can be very persuasive when we communicate with others, okay? Because it has moved back into Sag. So, we have this powerful intellect and our intuition is strong. It's giving us this balanced approach to our thoughts and our words. It's a great time to study. It's a great time to research. And then on Sundays, the Sun and Saturn talk. So we'll be asked to instruct or maybe lead others. We'll want practical results today. We don't want mistakes. We don't want errors. So we'll find ourselves being a little bit more patient, giving it a little bit more time and energy, willing to persevere, okay? And especially when it comes to a difficult task or resolving a serious issue, this is a beautiful time to step into those kinds of things and really look at it and understand it. We will persevere through the defining, beautiful results that we want to appear going forward. Okay, we'll turn to the cards. 2024. 366 days to greater self-love. The calendar is available on Lulu. You know, if you're sitting on the fence, let me remind you that you want this calendar hanging on your wall come January 1st, 2024. Let it be the statement you make about yourself that you're putting you as a priority in your life going forward. Okay, and it's on sale right now for a reduced price, but the price isn't important. Consider that a nudge to embrace who you truly are, to grow your love for yourself, to build your self-esteem, to recreate a new self-concept for yourself. Oh my gosh, all these cards are flipping. Okay? It's the very first step that you need to take if you want to create any form of abundance, any form of sustainable happiness, joy. To step into living a very rewarding life. Okay, the cards. Oh, while we're on the subject, let me just blatantly do another little ad for myself, okay? Because I've been working since the beginning of September on this. Keep an eye out for my master course to genuine empowerment. That's a bunch of cards, so we won't count that. Okay, to live the life you've always wanted, that you've always imagined. Okay, I've got the name finally, Becoming Your Beautiful Authentic Self. It took me a while to come to that conclusion, but I think it's short. I think it's sweet. I think it ties into everything else without, overusing. Growing greater self-love, to know that it's more than that. So hopefully I will have that released by the time we move into 2024. Okay, enough. Let's get to why you're really here. Let's see what the cards have to say. Our underlying energy for this weekend is the King of Wands. King of Wands is one where we don't want to overly prepare. We don't want to wait until everything is perfect in order to step into what we want to step into in life. It doesn't have to be the perfect moment. It has to be the moment. Now, the King of Wands, I love him. He shows up very rarely in the the garb that a king normally would wear. His crown is usually crooked or it's missing completely. He's never wearing the official crown. And he's one that thinks a little bit on his path, but then he acts on his path. Then he looks for evidence that that path is working, that that step in that path is working. And then he takes another step. And then he stops and he looks at it. And he understands what's working, what isn't working, what do we need to adjust. How can we fuel more energy into this area, because that seems to be working like dynamite. So it's about not waiting until the plan is perfect, not waiting until all your ducks are in a row, not waiting until you've mastered that class or read that book or had this experience before you feel that you can really step into it. You have done enough. If anything, these times are telling us over the last month or two now, I have been saying you've done everything you need to do in order to at least take that one step forward. So this is how we're going to be kind of feeling that it's time to take that one step, that we have enough. Even if it's a little gray on the sides and whatnot, it's okay. We are now in Capricorn Sun energy, so we will be making the plan. We will be making the strategy. We will be making the list. Do not worry about that. We'll be looking at the smaller details. Do not worry about that. Take what you have and start putting the action behind the thought. Look at this, the Tower card, the 16 energy shows up. First card, the Awakening. And look at us breaking through that glass ceiling. Some kind of awareness, some kind of happening, event can come into play today. Oftentimes, under this energy, we do not see it as something great, something good. In fact, it upsets our apple cart in some way. It makes part of our life completely redundant, and it opens up a whole new path of things that we've never even perhaps imagined before or put any thought or concentration towards before, and now it seems to be our total focus. Okay? Do not think, though, that that everything that's going to happen today is bad in order for you to write on your path in some way. I had one viewer leave a comment, many moons ago now, saying, what if you won the lottery? How much of your path would you be going forward with, and how much of your path just became redundant? So it's those kinds of things that can happen today in our lives, this weekend actually. We have the Knight of Cups. This is about romance. This is about enhancing our relationships with each other. Making more of a connection on a heart level. This could also be embracing a passion or a dream and going forward in the path that we are constructing for ourselves, in the path that we want to walk, that leads us to the reality that we want surrounding us, to lead us to the transformations that will make things tangible in our life going forward. This is about embracing it and feeling the happiness, the joy, and the sense of being one with it. If that can make any sense to you. Being one with your dream, your desire, or a close friend. Absolutely. We have the Page of Pentacles. This is dreaming it big. We're still in the dreaming it big kind of energy. Don't worry so much about the details. We'll get there. Don't worry. Okay? The Page of Pentacles is here. Look at this pentacle that we are growing. Okay? Imagine that starting out as the dime you had in your pocket. And with a little bit of imagination, a little bit of structure, and a little bit of a plan, and a little bit of courage, we step into the unknown, and somehow that dime becomes this big. Something that won't even fit in the palm of our hand, much less our pocket. To grow our dreams, to expand our horizons. That's what this energy is about this weekend. To see what we may be missing, taking off blinders perhaps, and having more awareness of what is being offered to us. I'm going to grab another two cards here. We've got the King of Cups. King of Cups is, let's go down to the basics though and make sure that we've got everything covered. We don't want to make too far of a jump and then have to backtrack. So, how are our finances? How is our relationships? How is our health and well-being? How is our spirituality? Looking at these things and understanding if we have the groundwork to build upon, that we are making sure that we are okay each and every day. And maybe it is revisiting your finances and coming up with new approaches to save money, utilize money, have money work for you instead of you just spending it. Maybe it is growing that relationship deeper, or maybe it is that promotion that you want to go towards in your life. Have you done all the groundwork? Have the right people put a face to the name, saw your talents and your abilities, and you shine in the process? Have you made notes of this so that you can remind them about this later when you're in these interviews going forward? And our last card is the Four of Swords, rest and recuperation. Rest and recuperation is vitally important, especially during these busy times. I mean, we have so much more on our plate because we are walking towards the holidays, very close towards the holidays, in fact, aren't we now? So we're busy. We're busy beyond belief. And so it's so much more vital, so much more critical that we actually make room in our days, in our lives for rest, recuperation, relaxation, to rejuvenate ourselves, to strengthen ourselves for that path that we want to step into, for the work that is going to need to be done. Okay, an oracle card. Be in service, 41. You know, it's one thing to get during this season, or any season for that matter. You know, when we get a present or a gift or somebody does something nice for us, it's always a wonderful moment. But it is, I would say, doubly beneficial and beautiful, but it's more than double. It's like 10 times. It's so potent when we are in service for others. When we look to see where we can put a smile on somebody else's face, where we can do a good deed, when we can pay it forward, when we can help and never be recognized perhaps for that help we've given. That's when true abundance starts to show up in our life. That's when true magic starts to happen in our life. So, 41, which is a 5 energy. It's all about creating the joy, the happiness, the laughter, the celebration in our lives. 41. Give back to the world. When we give in equal proportion to that which we receive, we are able to maintain balance. There are so many people who are in need of our services. Being in service can be as simple as a kind word, holding a door open, or joining in a cleanup effort. Look to nature and its ability to support according to what is needed at that time. Your efforts in supporting others around you will help you create the energy needed to support all of humanity. And remember, it's just like a small ripple, right? When you throw that pebble into the water and the ripples begin, okay, it only grows, it only intensifies. And the more you touch others, the more others touch others. And we create this beautiful harmony, okay? And that's the most important part about this whole season, right? Is about the beauty and the harmony and the love. Let's get an animal card, shall we? And today we have, for the weekend, the snow leopard, self-reliance. Self-reliance is here. You are strongly independent and often solitary. Integrity is important for your best outcome. Cloak yourself with invisibility and walk with the shamans. Use your intuition and let your life unfold in silent perfection. Use your intuition. But the most important part is let your life unfold in silent perfection. And that is what we're trying to do this weekend. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.